Good, beautiful morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, September the 20th, 2023. And we are in for some amazing opportunities individually and collectively as a species. I'm fortunate enough today to have the energy of the Divine Collective, which is a collective of masters, angels, and archangels that periodically get together in different configurations of individuals that want to communicate the concept about ending your enslavement. And we're going to get into that very shortly. It's an amazing time to be alive. It really, really is. And if you can just get to this place of awakening, of just beginning to awaken yourself from this thing called your personality, your mind, your body, not get rid of them, to be not subjective to them, right? This is a conversation that's been going on for most of the morning with my guides and angels, also with myself and my partner, Norma Jean, about being able to really let ourselves go. And I'm going to let them go forward with this. But I want to say good morning to everybody. Good to see you guys here. It's another beautiful day on this planet. Hello, Daniela. Good to see you here. And beautiful souls, you are amazing. If you could understand and step outside the confines of what the world has conditioned you to believe you are supposed to be, you would be just in absolute joy of every moment. And because the moment is eternal. That's what they say to me all the time. The moment is eternal. It's not referred to by a past or a future. It is the only place where you can truly find peace. Because your mind is about what happened yesterday or what's going to happen next. And that certainly doesn't loan itself to a lot of fun when you're caught in your past or you're caught in a future past. So, yes, good morning. Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, Elizabeth's asking, oh yeah, well, before we get into this too far, Elizabeth's asking, have I any ability? Everybody does. Every one of you that is hearing this has unique abilities that you cannot liberate unless you liberate yourself from the confines of your thinking mind and your physical impulses. You're bound by flesh and mind so long as you believe you are simply flesh and mind. You want to be free of these things, but every one of you has a very specific function in your consciousness that's unique to you. And to liberate yourself to that truth requires a few simple steps be taken. A few simple steps to learn to differentiate yourself from your thoughts and yourself from your body, to recognize the role and function of thought and body in relation to your direction of them and not your subjectivity to them. To be subjective to the thinking mind, to be subjective to the thoughts acquired from this world, enslaves you to them and the energies that those thoughts will stimulate. As very, very specific thoughts will generate and manifest very specific energetic qualities that compel the body to function in very specific ways. Thoughts and their energy will compel the body to function in very specific ways. And so to awaken yourself to the realization that you are not your thoughts, that you can generate and articulate and create thought. You can select and choose thought very specifically and precisely according to the nature of its creative function. As all thought has a creative function, thoughts that are good and thoughts that are not so good have a creative function in that they direct your biology to act, to react. And so your enslavement to your thinking mind, your thoughts, must come to a place where you are no longer bound by them, enslaved by your thinking thoughts, or enslaved by the thoughts of others, where those thoughts are not properly evaluated in terms of their action function in your life, their creative function. As all thought exerts an energy of creation. It does. And you can remain subjective, as so many of you struggle with that subjectivity. Your misery and your unhappiness, your sadness, your uncertainty, your doubts, your guilt, your shames are not who you are. You are not your guilt. You are not your shame. You are not your anger. It's not who you are. But the illusion of your believing in these thoughts, that they are what substantiate who you are, is what creates the enslavement and the confusion to the suffering that you find yourselves in, yet seek to be liberated from. But remaining in the cycle of the same thoughts again and again, you remain in your suffering again and again. Some of you going through many lifetimes of such circular experiences of existence. And so you wish to be free and liberated, awakened from the mind. And how do you do this? How do you begin the process of becoming unenslaved from your own thinking mind and the thoughts of others that would have you enslaved to their thoughts? That even those in positions of authority are enslaved to their thoughts, that they cannot operate outside of their own identification with their own thinking minds. So if they believe that the world is overpopulated, they are stuck in that belief and they will govern their actions accordingly. No matter how atrocious or evil that these actions that come from that belief may be, they are bound and enslaved, whether they are billionaires or paupers. You are bound and enslaved to your thoughts until you are no longer bound and enslaved to your thoughts. And there is a process you need to go through to articulate your own liberation, your own awakening. It is your responsibility. There are places and spaces difficult to find where you can begin the process of differentiating yourself from the content of your own mind, most of which is not even yours. That the content of your own mind, most of it is not even yours. And who are you that observes these thoughts that trouble you so? And who are you that observe the thoughts and the emotions that trouble you so? You are not the thoughts. You are not the emotions, but you believe you are these things. And so you're bound by what you believe. But if you surrender these thoughts and you surrender your attachment to the emotions that these thoughts precipitate as elements directing your body to act in certain ways, then you can begin to remember yourself as you are, not as you've been made to be. Remember yourself as you are, not as you were made to be. And there are not but a handful on this planet that understand the distinction between their thinking mind and their own soul. That you are not the thinking thoughts, you are the awareness of the thinking mind. Aware that there are thoughts, aware that there are emotions, aware that there are memories, aware that there may be possibilities in your life that are to come because of the memories and emotions and thoughts that you find yourself bound to. And yet you must awaken to this other aspect of your being. And you can awaken to this aspect of your being that is the observer of thoughts. And the moment you begin that process of observing your thoughts, then there's a distinction between the observer and what is observed. And that in that distinction, a door opens slightly. that, oh, I have this thought in my mind. I'm aware of this thought that I am not good enough. I'm aware of this thought that I could be more. I'm aware of this thought that says people do not like me, but I am not that thought. That begins the process of awakening, this distinction between yourself as the individual awareness, recognizing that there's this system of thought inside of your body and inside of your mind, but you are not that system of thought. You are not the system of thought in your mind. You have a system of thought in your mind that has been given to you through your educations and your experiences with this world. But they do not have to necessarily define you anymore. But in order to redefine yourself, to reinvent, to reimagine yourself, you first must begin the process of differentiating yourself from the thoughts, the thinking mind, yourself from the body and the biology. That process must be initiated deliberately and intentionally by you, that you can recognize you are not the thoughts in your mind. You are aware of them. And in that position of awareness, you begin to create space between yourself and the confines, the enslavement of your own mind that you've been trapped in. That place of awareness is the beginning of awakening to observe thoughts. Oh, there is a thought that says this or believes this. I'm aware of that thought. And in that point of awareness, awakening begins. You're not quite awake yet. You are beginning to open your eye. Your spiritual eye begins to open when you become aware. When you become aware that you have thoughts, you are aware you have sensations. In that place of awareness, you are beginning to open your eye. You are beginning the process of awakening. And so long as you persist in the distinction between yourself as the awareness, then you begin to shed away, let go of the limitations that these thoughts have imposed upon you. You who are a divine intelligence, a limitless creator, dancing eternally through time, that you begin to awaken, and that you are not bound by a single lifetime or a single body, but that you have the opportunity in each opportunity to begin to articulate your own creative innovations, independent of what the world would place upon you or within you. You begin that process in being aware. There are other elements in the process of your becoming liberated and ending your enslavement to your mind. You must learn to use mind and body very differently than mind and body have been using you. You do not allow mind and body to use you. You do not allow emotion to rule you. You do not allow the world to govern what you are. You begin to awaken to what you already are, this wondrous, beautiful soul that is truly what you are. And those thoughts that we speak constitute very precise and specific energies that we know by their nature will cause certain effects in many of you. That what we say comes from a very clear understanding that the functions of consciousness and energy and thought and creation are available to be articulated by everyone who awakens to the understanding of what you are. Liberating yourself from what you are not. It begins with awareness. Becoming aware. Aware. To be aware that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your body. These are instruments for the function of learning creation, as you were made in the image and likeness of a creator, which means you are a creator by nature. but that thoughts and emotions and biology are the implements, the instruments through which you can learn at least the basic fundamental steps of what it is to create. To learn the basic and fundamental steps of what it is to create, so that you can fulfill becoming as that one that made you. This distinction of awareness, observing thought, awareness, observing emotion, recognizing that I, as awareness, am aware of this thought. I, as awareness, am aware of this emotion. I, as awareness, am aware of this body. But I am not bound by these thoughts or these sensations or these memories. And in that position, you begin to establish a greater understanding of what you are as consciousness, as spirit, as soul. You begin to remember that you are not as you have been taught, that you've been dancing through time far longer than many of you can conceive. And we have loaned our efforts to articulate through this one and others simple fundamental truths that can enable and empower any of you to realize, well, it is more to say that you can remember, which is to rejoin, to remember, to bring together who you are, to differentiate yourself from mind and body, identity, personality, and connect to your soul, your creative function, your independent consciousness, liberated from subjectivity to mind and body, but employing both mind and body in the function of creation. And we have brought forth such teachings as would be necessary for you to be able to take this deliberate journey, because it must be chosen. You must choose to decide that suffering is no longer necessary for you, that you do not need to be enslaved to emotions and thoughts, to memories, that you do not need to be enslaved to what was, but you can live in what is. And in order to do so, you must awaken. Awaken. Please awaken. Your suffering is the illusion of what is unnecessary. And if you understand what we are saying, then the importance you will place on simply becoming the quiet observer of your thoughts is the beginning point. The moment you begin to make the distinction between yourself and your thoughts, yourself and your emotions, and yourself and your body, you begin to awaken. Watch your thoughts. Do not be your thoughts. Watch them. Most of them are not even yours, and many of them are insane and crazy and ridiculous. And they create insane, crazy, and ridiculous emotions. Every thought creates an energy. And if you do not understand this, then you will continue to perpetuate your suffering until you decide to wake up. Whether it is this lifetime or another, the choice remains yours. We will not enforce an awakening, but we will certainly facilitate it. But awakening cannot be forced, it must be chosen. And so you must choose to awaken or to continue to dance in the slumber of suffering. You will not be judged in either way, but you will bear the effects and consequences of your own experiential creation. Although in truth, you shall never be harmed, even in your suffering, your essential nature is never harmed. What and who you are as a spiritual consciousness can never be harmed. And if you understand this, your fear will begin to diminish. And when your fear begins to diminish, then the grip the personality will hold upon you will also begin to diminish, for the personality depends upon the functions of survival in order for it to exist. And so you sit here with us, hearing these words and experiencing what you experience energetically in the way that your system is able to receive it. And you are still faced with the reality that you must make this choice. between awakening or remaining asleep, between perpetual suffering or transformation. You are free to choose either and will not be judged. But your own experiences, your own errors in creation that cause you suffering will be the very judgment you will experience. In other words, you become the creator of your own judgment by the nature and quality of your thinking and your being and your doing. But do not think that because one has great wealth or no wealth, that they do not find themselves bound or enslaved to their own thinking minds, their own beliefs and ideologies. Do not think for a moment that wealth liberates you from the enslavement to your own thoughts that may perpetuate your own internal hell. Wealth will not assist you in escaping the consequences of your own creating process. For you may be bound by thoughts that you may think they are so grandiose and incredible, but they bind you to a reality that may or may not be true. And you may impose upon others and yourself unnecessary suffering, perpetuating your suffering upon them, because that is all you can offer the world, is what you have in your own heart and your own mind, if your soul is not awakened. For if your soul is awakened, then love will function and flourish through you. If your soul is awakened, love will function and flourish through you. If you are enslaved by your mind, then fear and anger, greed and gluttony will tend to be your masters, and you their servant. We will take whatever time is necessary, which is far vaster than many can conceive. Time is not bound by the locus of this single planet, or this one system. Time is unlimited in its scope and quantity. And when you recognize you're not bound by time or space, then you have a much greater experience of time. You have a much greater understanding of wisdom and knowledge. Memory and information are available to you in quantities that a single lifetime could not even begin to comprehend, but which you at any moment when you awaken could fully understand, that you are eternal, that you can literally bring your awareness to any point of the times of creation and know and comprehend and understand things that are not immediate to the senses of your biology, but are available to your soul. Wisdom and knowledge and truth, far surpassing anything any one human can acquire in a single lifetime, is available to all of those who awaken, is available to all of you who awaken, who can end your enslavement to your mind and end your enslavement to your body. For many of the emotions you feel are products of your thinking mind, and most of what is in your thinking mind was given to you by your environment, by people that were enslaved by their thinking minds, and so you find yourself perpetuating the enslavement that was given to you by others. And it is time to end that enslavement if you wish to end your suffering. And you do not need to concern yourself with the liberation of others. Simply liberate yourself, and the natural consequence of your own liberation is that you will offer it to others, because you will always offer to others what you carry in your own consciousness. Whether it be love or fear, you can only offer those around you what you carry in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, in your body. You cannot offer what you do not possess. But you can possess what you do not have if you understand how to liberate yourself from this thinking mind. And you have great opportunity now to be free of this. Is that not wonderful? Lifetimes of experience were required to achieve the level of information that can flow through this form, for example. And it can be for you as well that your consciousness can allow the free flow of wisdom and knowledge that can liberate you and others from unnecessary suffering. It is available to you as it was to your great masters, the masters that have been, the masters that are, and the masters yet to come. The secrets of all that is available to all that are awake and aware of this position in consciousness. And so we encourage you to awaken, to begin to awaken, to no longer remain subjective to what the world has bestowed to your mind, to begin to make that distinction between yourself and your thoughts and your body. And then in that process of awakening, you can have a different relationship with the utilization of thought and body. You can begin to repurpose and restructure, to remodel your mind into an alignment to the functions of your highest sense of what you are as a function of love, as a function of life. Because you are, in your essence, you are a function of life. You're not simply a mind and a body. You are a function of life asserting itself through the flesh, through thought, creatively. This is what you are. When you awaken to that truth, then the joy of creation, much like a child finding the opportunity to paint or to change and alter things, the joy of creation then drives your thoughts and your actions. The joy of creation when you realize you are a creator. But first you must end your enslavement to your mind that perpetuates your suffering. And much of it is needless. And those who would tell you that suffering are necessary in order for you to awaken are deceiving you. But that you can surrender your suffering and realize the truth for yourself, not simply hear the words we're saying and accept them as the only truth. But you will be free. At one point in the journey through creation, you will be free. The question is, will you choose it to be now? You can simply start to become aware that there is a distinction between you and your thoughts, you and your emotions, you and your body, and that you are the coordinator of them, not the slave to them. Is that not wonderful? Is that not wonderful to know that you can be free? Right now, even in the moment of choosing, oh, I'm aware of this thought, in that moment, you can experience the deliciousness of yourself in just being aware. Oh, there are thoughts. And in that moment where you are awareness, observing, the being of awareness gives you a connection to yourself as you are, and not as your thoughts would define you as being. Let us say that you must all choose to end your enslavement. You must all choose to end your enslavement, because choice is the only function of creation that you have available to you. Choice is the only function of creation you have available to you. And so you must apply the function of choice to initiate your own liberation, your own awakening. Thank you. So that being said, thank you so much. I want to thank the Divine Collective for this wonderful transmission. And I'm really grateful to see all of you here today. Thank you so much for the stars and the birds and the hearts and the beautiful things that you share with me, your comments, your super chats, all these things. And whatever way you can support this channel, please do that. We are at a very incredible time. They tell me we're at this incredible time of awakening. that there are 2 billion people in the process of actively awakening, questioning, that want to break through the barriers of the suffering that they know is not natural. Everybody knows suffering is not natural. Suffering is not your natural way. It's not right. It doesn't feel good because it's not your natural way of being. And no matter what anybody will tell you, it is not natural for you to suffer. It is natural for you to awaken and liberate yourself from suffering. So in that sense, you can use suffering as a mechanism to realize that that is not who you are. Good morning, everybody. Hello, Jacqueline. Hello, Brandita. You're very welcome. Question from Sophia. I encountered the biggest storm ever in Greece when visiting, and my area was the worst hit. Besides an exhilarating adventure, was there any other reasons for this experience? Much love. Thank you, Sophia. When I tune into that, you need to, yes, I will. So what they're telling me to tell you, Sophia, is that we are contextually speaking, your consciousness as a human is an aspect of a greater consciousness. The earth is a greater consciousness than any individual human being. The sun is a greater consciousness than any other aspect of planets in the system. And these aspects of consciousness interact with each other all the time. And what they tell me is what you're witnessing is the human collective unconsciousness interacting with time and space is causing effects upon the energy systems of the planet. And the planet, like a child of the sun, it is, the planets are children of the suns that they go round. Planets are the children of the suns that they go round. And they say the planets are sending messages, information to the sun, and the sun reacts and responds to them, much like a parent responds to children. And so we've been allowing ourselves as a species to get caught up in anger and control and greed and power, guilt and shame. We've allowed ourselves to indulge in greed and gluttony, that we've literally caused the planet to feel distressed. And it's sending a message to its parent and saying, Dad, I'm having some trouble here. Can you help me out? And so this energy is coming into the planet to do two things. It's ascension energy, we call it. One, it's trying to awaken us, to get us to awaken ourselves individually, to restore ourselves to the functions of love. And it's also at the same time rebuilding the planet, giving the planet the necessary energy to make the shifts in itself so it can liberate itself from its unnecessary suffering. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, Sophia, but don't take that personally. This is, again, the earth is a living consciousness. She is reacting and responding to what she's experiencing, just as we react and respond to what we're experiencing. And humanity needs to restore its function of love. And it's not doing a very good job at it, they tell me. Humanity is not doing a very good job at restoring itself to the function of love through which we were originally manifested. Humans were manifested through the function of love, as was every other life form on this planet. So don't take it personally. These are just natural changes that are happening in response to certain energies interacting with that. Yes. Thank you so much, Sophie. I really appreciate that. Hello, William. I forgot things since somebody says, I forgot things since I was a kid. What can I do? What can you do? Well, the question is, do you believe that forgetting these things is causing you to suffer? Do you believe that forgetting is causing you to suffer? Because sometimes forgetting can cause you to heal. There are certain emotional conditions that you may have acquired from your past that may need to be liberated from your body, in which case you would be very wise to identify those emotions and to liberate them from your body. On that note, I want to say too, for those of you that are interested in exploring, for those of you on TikTok, you will not see this, but those of you on Facebook and YouTube, you will. We have our upcoming masterclass, which begins October the 14th. It's called Masterclass 101, Awakening. It is literally the process that they've talked about earlier. What is it you need to do to begin the process of awakening, to learn to gain access to information from your guides, your angels, ascended masters, other multidimensional beings? How can you open your consciousness up to realms of information that the world cannot give you? And how do you begin the process of awakening, of getting free of unnecessary suffering, unnecessary fear, unnecessary guilt and shame? And I invite you and I encourage you strongly to come to this masterclass. You can go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and register for it. The Ascended Masters teach through me. And they share their wisdom and knowledge, and they guide us all in the process of awakening and liberation to the various levels that each of us is at. They will be specific to each and every person in the program. You will receive exactly what you came to receive. I highly encourage you, do not wait or waste time. Go sign up. Sign up today. You got until October the 14th to sign up and learn from the masters. Learn the simple and easy ways it is to liberate yourself from suffering. You know, so many of our students have gone on to do really amazing things. I just received this book in the mail from one of our students. It's called High Vibe Living. One of our students, Chico, he's one of our students and one of our teachers who taught High Vibe Living in our program. And all of our students go on to do amazing things if they choose to release their limitations. And I'm hoping to get a hold of a link to where you could purchase that book at some point in the not too distant future. But this program is about awakening yourself to who you are, not to what the world has made you to be. So please stop being stuck in your mind and in your suffering. You are not born in sin. Okay, I want to clarify that. You were not born in sin. None of you were. You were born in love. You were raised with beliefs that are equivalent to sin, harming yourself and other people. But you were born as a function of love, not a function of sin. Master Jesus tells me this. Much of what he taught was twisted and turned to enslave people, to a handful of individuals. Right? But please sign up for the course. Save yourself a bundle of time. Awaken yourself. Please, awaken. Awaken yourself. Wonderful. Yeah, please do sign up. Don't waste any time. The course, hi Jay, the course is $199 US. It lasts for 3 weeks. It runs from Sundays to Friday for a 3-week period. Every day there is a live event with myself channeling the Ascended Masters or any of our instructors teaching the food elements of the program and the practice activities that happen. So it's about 7 or 8 hours every week for 3 weeks. And I can assure you, you are going to experience and receive way more than you can even consider with the limited information that's being provided here. And for repeat students, we have repeat students that come back quite regularly. It's $99 US. So $199 for first-time students, $99 US for repeat students. I assure you, it is well worth the time. You have such a wealth of information available to you outside of the confines of your mind, what you've been taught to believe, what you've been taught to know. You have to unknow it to open up to what you don't know. And they teach us how to do that. They teach every one of us how to open up to what we don't know, because it's what you don't know that will liberate you from what you know. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Is the course recorded to work around our schedule? Yes, absolutely. The course is structured and all live events happen on Zoom. The Zoom events are recorded and posted upon a general group that everybody at any time according to your schedule, you can go and review the lessons according to your schedule, wherever you are on the planet. And we have students, we have international students from Asia, Europe, the United Kingdom, Canada, the United States, South Africa. So where? Australia. And Australia. So we have, thank you, darling. We have students everywhere that have taken this course. But yeah, it fits your time and schedule wherever you are. Every day, same time, easy to schedule. You will receive what's called as an itinerary with the active links for every event. You will not miss a single event. You'll always be able to get the recordings. It is not the same time every day. They tend to be 3 p.m. on Sundays, between 3 and 5 on Sundays. It usually starts at 3. On Mondays, it's between 4 and 6. The lessons run from 4 to 6 p.m. On Tuesdays, it's usually about an hour on Tuesdays. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon. We haven't done the schedule. We don't do the schedule until they give it to us. Literally, my guides and angels work through me and my wife to bring through the schedule, who's coming to teach and what they're going to do. Wednesdays, again, 4 to 6. Fridays, 4 to 6. And Thursdays, it's usually around 11 a.m. Again, we have a food program every week. So I hope that answers your question. It's a very exciting program. Do you do in-person classes? All the classes, yes, I do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays in the courses from 4 to 6 p.m. where I channel the ascended masters or the guides or the angels that want to instruct on what they want to instruct us on during that time. So yeah, I do. I'm there too. Oh, hello. I'm glad you're local to us. Wonderful. I felt so much better after the course of William. I left my depression for a joyful life. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's an interesting handle. I probably know you if I knew your proper name, but that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Let's go back over to YouTube here because I know there are a bunch of questions popping up here. Question from Vertical Connection. Sylvia had her resume professionally written and is now looking to finding a fulfilling and meaningful job in the small town in Spain where she lives. Will she find it this time? You need to get her to release her doubt. Because that's what keeps happening. She keeps going back to that doubt. And you're sharing that doubt with us right now. And I'm going to say, I want to say to her right now, if she's listening, let go of your doubt. Am I going to let go of the doubt? You will get the job. Once you let go of that doubt and you do not pick it up again. So if you don't get something day 1 or day 2 or day 3 or day 10, you do not pick that doubt up. You say, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I know it's coming. And it will come. But you will be tempted to pick your doubt up and circumvent yourself from achieving the result. So please tell her that, Vertical. Do not pick up the doubt anymore. Tell her to stop going to that. That's why she keeps having difficulty. Not because there's anything wrong with her. She keeps holding on to the doubt. Will I get it? Will I get it? And so she keeps not getting it. Question from Katrina. Hi, Katrina. Good morning, William. Do I have a guide that can beat my heart like a drum? Last Monday night, my teacher brought it out, guides, and it felt like my heart was going to explode out of my chest. Yeah, Katrina, that's a really fascinating thing that can happen. Sometimes Master Jesus comes through. My body literally heats up like crazy. It was probably him helping me paint the other day. And now that I think about it. So yeah, different energies of different masters can affect us differently. Sometimes you can get the chill bumps where the hair stands up on end. Sometimes your heart rate can accelerate. Sometimes you can get really nauseous because the energy of transmutation is so intense because your body can go through an intense transformation in the presence of a master. Your body can go through an intense transformation in the presence of a master. Again, do not fear. Do not fear. That's what they're telling me to tell you right now. Do not fear when that happens. Embrace it. Embrace the energy that is offered to you in those moments. Embrace it. I remember once I got so nauseous with my master that I had to go to the bathroom and sit down beside the toilet because I thought I was going to die. I felt like I was dying, and in truth, a part of me was dying. The old self was dying. And you'll go through transformation and change. Your body will go through the changes that you initiate or get initiated into by your teachers, your mentors. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Someone's asking, does Aiden need space from me and communication? He's in New York City and I'm in Toronto. Well, what we can feel from you is your desire to be connected to this individual. Do not fear. Do not fear the space of your own space. Do not fear the space of your own space. When you are on your own, you are faced with what is in your own mind and body. If you're not comfortable, as so many of you are uncomfortable with what is in your own mind, you don't know how to deal with it. You often find yourself jumping into relationships to get away from your mind so that you try to not deal with it. Many of you use relationships as escape, not as healing. Relationships are designed by nature to empower you to evolve to a higher expression of yourself, not to escape yourself, not to remain in your suffering, not to defer or deny or ignore your suffering, but to heal it. Relationships are healing mechanisms. Wow, thank you so much. How can I free myself from the pain of codependency? This is a really great question. The pain isn't in the codependency. The pain is what you're holding onto in yourself. It's a sensation. What the Divine Collective were saying earlier. That, and again, I'm paraphrasing now. What they were saying earlier is that we can choose to hold on to certain emotions and certain thoughts. I'm codependent is a thought that creates an energy. The belief that I need somebody to be whole and complete is a thought that creates an energy. The belief that if I don't have someone in my life, I'm not going to be fulfilled is a belief that causes a certain energy. The belief that I can't live without a person causes an energy. Your thoughts cause energy. So to think a thought that I am free and independent, I am powerful and strong within myself, I am whole and complete in who I am. These thoughts create and generate very specific energies. And you can be in relationship and be very fulfilled and very happy and not codependent. That must be consciously chosen. Oh, hello, Noella. Good to see you. It's always wonderful seeing you too, darling. Thank you so much. Noella Risley, such a joy on TikTok. Thank you so much. What should I know about Raymond and I romantically? Thank you so much. If I tune into, a lot of mystery there, eh? I'm getting a lot of mystery there, excitement there. Yes. Yes. It's important that he resonate with it as well. It's important that he resonates with it as well. It can be very easy to recognize the profound energy of your own love, the profound energy of your own desire to embrace others. But it's equally important to recognize if that other has that same profound understanding of connection. In that context, where both recognize the truth of themselves in relation to the other, that a relationship can be formed and evolve and reach great wondrous expressions of creation, co-creation together. From the perspective of your romantic elements, well, that is a given. Your biologies will naturally be attracted to each other. But there's a difference between the biological attraction between individuals and the essential nature of two souls coming together in purposeful co-creation. You might wish to make the distinction, or you'll end up simply being two ships passing in the night, rather than a function of love on a journey across a sea to a new land. Wow. Thank you, Noel. I love that question. Got a question from Hugh Davies. I love the paintings behind you. There's a lot of uncertainty and fear. I'm struggling with it. Everyone I know is reflecting cold-heartedness back to me. Does that mean I'm cold-hearted? Thank you. No, Huey. It doesn't mean you're cold-hearted unless you think you are cold-hearted. If you accept the thoughts of others, you will be bound by the energy of those thoughts. And these paintings behind me, by the way, at least this one here, is a co-creation of my stepdaughter and my wife, Norma Jean. We created this together, the three of us. So that's a composite of our creative endeavoring together. Yes. But again, yes. No, watch your thoughts. What they were saying earlier. Do not connect yourself to thoughts that will create energies that do not serve you. You are not cold-hearted at all, Huey. You would not be here if you were cold-hearted. You wouldn't be here asking this question if you were cold-hearted, because the vibration of love is very strong in these transmissions. And so those of you that are here are in alignment to that frequency, or you wouldn't be receiving it. You can only receive what you're tuned into. Right? My grandmother stopped telling me things in my dreams. Why? She used to guide me a few times. That's because she's come back into another incarnation. She's back in another incarnation. She's in India. She's in the continent of India. Yes. New Delhi is where I'm getting. Somewhere in New Delhi is where she is in a new life, in a new body. So it's not that it's her soul's moved on to that. Right? And yeah, you're a big girl now. She's telling me, she said, please tell her she's a big girl now. You're a big girl, right? You can do this. Thank you so much. Jacqueline Smallwood saying, the courses are brilliant. You will receive lots of help and information well worth taking. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Really wonderful. Thank you for sharing that thought. Tanya, hi, Tanya. Will Mark and I be in a serious relationship? Stop holding on to the doubt. If that's what you really, really want, what you really want is to connect to the energy in yourself of how you would feel in a fulfilling relationship. If you can feel I would feel absolute joy in a fulfilling relationship. I would feel so happy. Then the very nature of that happiness will attract into your life the partner that is in harmony with that happiness. You can only connect to people, events, and circumstances that you are in harmony with. The good things and the bad things. We connect them because we have an energetic connection to it. And we can change that energetic connection that fast, like they were saying. Begin to awaken. Recognize that your thoughts, you have choice to not think certain thoughts. You have choice to let go of certain thoughts. You have choice to create new thoughts. Isn't that wonderful? It's just so wonderful. Mary's asking, what does my fiance need to do now to free himself from his corporate job so he can pursue his comedy career as a living? What does he need to do? Do it. Do it with the certainty of his love for his comedic work. Do it with the certainty, the joy, the love that he feels for his comedic work must transcend his fear. He must not look back at his fear. Am I going to be okay? You must not pick up fear. Will there be challenges? Will there be some difficulty? In all likelihood, yes, but his fear would make the difficulty worse, where his love will make it easy to bear. His love of his comedic activities will liberate him. But his fear will keep him bound in the uncertainties in which he is sharing with you now. Every thought, every belief creates an energy, and you are bound by that energy unless you surrender it. Again, come out to the Masterclasses. You will awaken. You really will. You will awaken. I promise you. Hi, William. Do my guides have advice for me about me taking care of my mentally ill sister? Yes, they're saying, please let it be a journey of love and not a burden. Let it be a journey of love, not simply what you give to her, but the function of yourself as an extension of love. Let this be, if you choose this journey, let it be a journey of love, not a journey of difficulty and suffering. If you choose to, again, focus your attentions upon the difficulties and the challenges, then you will simply create more of those. But if you recognize that each step along the way is a journey of love, of transcending suffering, of being limitless in your capacity to assist and uplift and empower others, then this journey of love will free you. And it may free her as well from her unnecessary suffering. But do not let it be a journey of obligation. Let it be a journey of love. Do not let it be a journey of confrontation. Let it be a journey of love. Do not let it be a journey of, I must do this. Let it be a journey of love. Let all your journeys be of love, not of fear, not of anger, not of guilt, not of shame, or the desire to escape them, but simply to be the journey of love. Wow. Nice guide. Good morning, William. Do you see me moving soon? And if so, where and when? Hello, Brow Queen. I get that you're prepared to move. You're prepared, but it's not quite ready to happen yet. I'm feeling like 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months is the time frame. I'm feeling that this move can be effective, but they're telling me to tell you right now that if you go clearly into the necessity of the move, it will happen almost immediately. You must understand the function of your thinking mind, that when you allow your mind to think certain thoughts, that it creates certain energies, and these energies produce very specific outcomes in your experience. And we encourage all of you to release your uncertainties and to remain detached from them. Your great teacher, Buddha, talks about detachment and non-attachment. Do not attach yourself to thoughts and ideas that will not serve you in any meaningful way. Well, I think we're done for today, folks. I've got so much gratitude for all of you for being present today. Thank you for your hearts and your likes. I wonder how many likes we got up today. 13,000 likes today. Thank you so much. And everybody on YouTube, thank you so much. You guys have been, the foundation for this for these last 5.5 years. We started on YouTube and we're down at Expand Out. But I want to thank all of you so much, every one of you that comes to this program, that asks your questions and have offered subscriptions and support in whatever way you have. Thank you so much. You allow this information to continue to flow into this world through me, and I'm honored and privileged to have such great supporters. Thank you so much. Linda's asking, urgent, how can I help my friend Mark? Yeah, you need to instruct Mark. You need to instruct Mark on learning how to breathe, to get his mind and body quiet. He got too much going on in here. He's got too much going on in his upper heart chakra. He needs to learn to teach his body to breathe and be still. And that will begin to ameliorate some of the difficulties he's experiencing right now. Thank you so much, Linda. Good to see you. Love and magic. Linda Pollock on Facebook is a dear friend of mine from many years ago. And her husband used to travel around as Love and Magic. What a wonderful thing to do. And they used to go to all these seniors' homes and help people everywhere. Linda, thank you so much for your question. Please say hi to Richie for me. And again, thank you guys for all the work you did for so many people that needed it. And everybody, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I will see you guys on Friday for our open Q&A day. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.